guys, my name is Nori and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing our top favorites, starting off with our top favorite series is what I meant to say, and we are going to be starting with romance. Now this is the year that I've read most romance. In general, this is a year that I've read so many things. I've read over 125 books. I think it's like 134 at this point, but yes, I have read quite a freaking bit. And I am so excited to share with you guys my top favorite romances. Alright, before we begin with our top 10 favorite romances of 2019, I would like to give a special shout out to a book series that didn't make it to this year, but I really enjoyed it. I was super close. And it is Alexa Martin with Intercepted, Fumbled, and Blitz. Blitz just came out and I'm currently reading it, but if you have not heard about the series, this is a sports romance series that is following the players of a football team. And let me tell y'all, like 2019 has been the year of discovering my favorite romance tropes, and sports romances is up there. I had such a great time reading the first and the second book. Again, I'm currently on the third book and I love the series and I highly recommend it if you've never tried any sports romance. This follows Georgie and Travis. Georgie owns an entertainment / clown business and she's really trying to take it off, but you know, everybody sees her as a clown, or the younger sister and this family of a construction business, so nobody takes her seriously. And then there is Travis, who is an injured baseball player. Now obviously he was in the big leagues, but he got injured and he can't play like he used to before. Now the catch here is that Georgie has loved Travis ever since they were in high school, but Travis, you know, totally slipped it out of his mind, and since he was a jock and then she was the little sister of the best friend, he never considered her. So I fast forward to both of them in adult years. Travis is in a depression because he can't do what he loves, and then Georgie, you know, she is in a serious rut because she wants to continue on with her business, but nobody takes her seriously. So she comes up with this crazy plan to start dating Travis so people could see that she has matured, and this is their story. Now the reason why this is in the top 10 of my favorites, one, the smut was great. Some people might actually not like it because it has a couple kinks in there, but I enjoyed it. But that's besides the point. This book, Georgie makes this support group, all female, and it is her sister. You know, there's a couple females. It starts off small and then eventually you kind of get to see it grow, and I love that. You know, I love a group of friends supporting each other and giving each other advice and following their dreams, and honestly that just made the whole book so much better for me. So it's kind of weird that the romance, yes, it's a good romance, and I did not give this book a 5 out of 5 stars. I gave it a 4, but it has to be up here because I love the smut and the group really touched my heart. So alright, coming up on number 9 of my top romances, it is a YA one, and it is Geek Arella by Ashley Poston. I give this a 5 out of 5 stars, and I am obsessed with the cover. I definitely want to get it in hardback because the stupid sticker left residue, and I can't get it out without damaging the book. So continuing on, this is a YA romance between Elle and I believe it's Darian. Now, if you can't tell, I am trash for retellings, and this is a Cinderella retelling, but there's a twist to it because obviously it is modern day, and the twist, it is Comic-Con. So we have Elle, and her father has died, and they are huge fans of Starfield. So Starfield, it's like top tier between, you know, Star Wars and Star Trek. So it has a huge fandom, and they're going to turn this into a movie. And when they picked Darian as, you know, the hot soap opera, the fandom gets pissed and she is livid. So this is like a hate to love romance, but the catch here is that at first they have no idea that they're actually talking to each other. So I had such a great time reading this, and this book is older and I don't know why I never picked it up, but now I picked it up and it is one of my favorites. So if you have not picked this up, this is your sign. Number 8 in my top favorite, I'm obviously gonna hold up 2 books, but I'm talking about the whole entire series, and I'm talking about Tessa Dare's The Duchess Deal, which is Girl Meets Duke. Obviously, you can't really tell because I have the hardbacks of this, but this is a historical romance. Who is she? I vowed, because I don't like mass paperbacks. I don't like the way they smell either, so I just have a hate relationship with mass paperback, and I was like, you know what, I'm never gonna pick up historical romance because I don't like those books. But for some strange reason I gave this a try, and I've read every single book in this series and I love it so much, y'all. If you have not read historical romance, this is a place to start. Tessa Dare, delicious, love it. Obviously it's in the top. So now the main thing is that the guys are, you know, they got some past, they got some trauma, and they are brooding, and then these lovely ladies see them for who they are and decide that, you know, they're kind of, you know, worth fighting for. And obviously most of these start off as hate to love, and my poor little heart, I love these so much. I think for a fact that the second one, it is my favorite, because another trope that I absolutely love is when a book has kids or children. That just that just makes the book so much better for me, and I feel like there's higher stakes, because not only do you have to get yourself together, but you have to get yourself together because there's kids involved, and then the kids are definitely involved in this book. And I just had such a fantastic time reading this historical romance series. Again, this is the Girl Meets Duke series by Tessa Dare, and we love them. Y'all check them out. I promise you will not be disappointed. So of course, you know, my battery would die, but coming up with a number 7, I do not have a physical copy, but I will put it up here, and it is The Bride Test by Helen Huang. I read The Kiss Quotient. I do have a copy. It's somewhere on my bookshelf, but I give it a 5 out of 5 stars, and I freaking loved it. So I knew that I had to pick this one up, and lo and behold, it is on my top favorite. So this follows Kai and Esme. Now, Kai is in the autistic spectrum. He does have autism, so he processes emotions differently than everybody else. So him and love do not click whatsoever. So Kai is going to be forever alone, and his mother hates that. So of course she has to take it upon herself to find a bride for Kai, and she travels across the world and she finds Esme. Now Esme, she was, you know, cleaning hotels when she stumbled upon her, and she's like, okay, well, I will give you till the end of the summer to get my boy to marry you, and I will pay all the expenses, and if he falls in love, then, you know, you have a home here, you have a husband. But what she didn't say is that she has a kid, so she's doing this all for the daughter to get better life. So here comes Esme, and she has no idea that Kai is, you know, autistic. Their relationship has a rocky start, but what made this book so good for me was Kai. His point of view was freaking hilarious, because obviously he doesn't know how to process, you know, emotions like everybody else. So him discovering love for the first time, it was epic. I had such a great time reading this book, and I will always have a special place in my heart for both of the series. Whatever Helen Huang publishes, definitely she's become an auto-buy author for me, and I love the series. And if you have not picked this up, then highly suggest it. And I know for a fact that a lot of people were kind of iffy on the Kiss Quotient, but they picked this book up and they loved it. So if you did not like the Kiss Quotient, it's fine. Give this author another try, and I'm pretty sure that you will love this book. Alright, next book that we have on here, it is definitely no surprise. This is book number 6, and I will explain why it is number 6. I'm rambling. Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. You will see this book in everybody's favorite book of the year, top romances. You're going to see this book until we finish our categories, top categories for 2019. But I actually did not give this a full 5 out of 5 stars. I gave this a 4.5, and you're wondering why, like, Nori, if you did not give this a full 5 out of 5 stars, why are you putting it on here? Well, let me explain. The reason why I didn't give it a full 5 out of 5 stars is because I went in to this book thinking that I was going to get a fantastic romantic filled hate to love book, which I did, but this book is political just as it is romantic. Like, I'm pretty sure it is split half and half. So this follows Alex and Henry, and Alex is the son of the first female president of the United States, and Prince Henry is Prince of England. So they hate each other, and there was a scandal where it looks like they were fighting at this royal wedding, in which it was a misunderstanding. So now the PR team has to get them together to make sure that they are best friends, to not start, you know, war between countries. So it follows them, and this story as well follows Alex's mom trying to get re-elected for the president for 4 more years. Now, every time somebody talked about this book, it was like, oh my god, the romance was so cute. Oh my god, I love the romance. But they kind of forgot to tell you that this book is following, you know, Alex's journey in securing the mom's presidency. So every time we would get, you know, a romance super cute, because Alex and Henry, oh my god, their romance was great. And then we would go to the mother's presidency, some issues and campaigning. And then it would skip to, you know, romance scene between Alex and Henry and them developing feelings and all that cute stuff. And then it would jump into the mother's presidency. So it was like back and forth, back and forth. And that is the reason why I did not give this a 5 out of 5 stars. But now that I do know that, this is definitely a book that I will be rereading in the future. And I'm for sure, now that I know, I'm definitely going to give this a 5 out of 5 stars because the romance was cute. The presidency was intense. I can't say more things about it because you've already known. This book was fantastic. The next book to secure top 5, it would be The Bromance Book Club by Alyssa K. Adams. Y'all, lo and behold, a sports romance. Hello. I'm telling you, 2020, I'm going hunting for those sports romances. And this follows Gavin, and he is a professional baseball player, and his marriage is in trouble. I am talking about the brink of divorce with his wife Thea, and they have 2 lovely daughters, pair of twins. So you see, it's sports romance plus kids. This is my jam, y'all. So I've never read a romance book or any book that is classified as a romance book, but they're already an established couple fighting for their marriage. Then the baseball team, one of the teammates, he's like, okay, we need to intervene. And Gavin's like, what? And then he's like, okay, come to this club. And then when they realize is that this is a bromance book club where a bunch of guys get together and read romance stories and, you know, share advice and take, you know, how to treat a woman and how to save the marriage. And he's like, you've got to be kidding me. And he's like, no, all of us here have been in your situation where our relationship is about to fail, and we read the romance story and we give each other tips to win our women back. And I've never read a story like this before, and I had a wonderful time reading this, y'all. I know that you've seen this quite a bit because this book just recently came out, maybe a couple months ago, but it is so worth the hype, y'all. Securing top number 4, it is The Flat Chair by Beth O'Leary. I love this cover so freaking much, but I know for a fact that some people love the story and some people hate it. Obviously, it's in my 4, so I loved this story. And this follows Tiffy and Leo. Tiffy was in a toxic relationship, but she is still living with her ex-boyfriend. So can you imagine all the crap that she has to put up with? So she decides to finally move out of that flat chair and find one. Now, the one that she finds is sharing with Leo. Now, Leo works at the hospital and he works nights, and Tiffy works at a publishing company and she works days. So while she's working, he's at home, and while she goes to sleep, he is working. So it's the perfect arrangement. And the fun thing about this book is that the way that they communicate is by sticky notes. So they leave each other sticky notes all around the apartment, and you know, they both have to learn how to share a flat share without the person in there. This is definitely a very mundane story. Honestly, there's nothing special about this book, but it just feels so realistic. And it is definitely a cozy read, and I loved it for that, because sometimes you pick up romances and you see like these ridiculous plots, like, are you kidding me? Like, really? But this one, it felt super realistic and I loved it. So if you have not picked this book up, I highly suggest that you do if you want a cozy, realistic romance. Into our top 3 favorite romances of the year, this one stole my heart at the very last minute. I'm talking about, I finished this book a couple weeks ago, like the first week of December. I finished it and I cannot stop thinking about it, and it is In This Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker. Oh my god, I see like a lot of booktube romance channels, and they always mention this book, and this book came out last year, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll eventually get to it. And I don't know why I picked this up, but oh my god. This story follows Akala, and it's a one-person point of view. This is just it. This is her story. And you know, she lives a very posh, rich, wealthy life. And she lives with her mother and her stepfather. Now, her mother and her dad separated at a very young age because Ren, which is Kala's father, he is a pilot and he owns a charter company flying planes. So, you know, she stopped talking to her father a long time ago because of X and Y reasons, and Kala gets this phone call from his company that Ren is very sick and they think that she should see him. So she has never talked to her father, like, she hasn't talked to her father in years, so she's super hesitant. So she goes to Alaska and to try to reconnect with her father, and along the way she meets the right man of Ren, which is Jonah. Now you kind of follow her story from there. Now, this book, I can't even believe that this town is fake. The way that K.A. Tucker wrote these people, I swear to the Lord, these people are real. This town is real. This whole story is real because the writing was just majestic. Obviously, it is fiction. The reason why this is in my top favorite romances of this year is that this is by far the best hate to love banter I've ever read in my entire life. This was so freaking good. I could not even believe it. Kala and Jonah are just, they are so opposite, but they're just perfect for each other. I don't even care. I love them so much. Their banter was hilarious. And man, this book is just contemporary as it is romance, because there are some hard topics that are faced here, and you know, there's forgiveness here, there's encountering your past. This book will always hold a special place in my heart, and I'll definitely be getting a copy for myself. And the second book is coming out, I believe, in 2020, so your girl is winning. I picked it up. I loved it. Highly recommended. Yeah. Top 2 favorite romance book of the year. It is Alicia Rye with The Right Swipe. Y'all, this book came out of the nowhere as well. I didn't even hear about this book, and then I decided to just pick it up and was not disappointed. So it follows Ree, and she is a creator of this dating app. Now, this dating app is like a feminist version of Tinder. You know, there ain't no, you know, nude pics unsolicited, send it to you. You know, this company is top notch. And Ree is, you know, doesn't use dating apps. And for some strange reason, last year, she decides to use a dating app for this hookup and meets this guy, and they have a one-night stand, and my god, for her it was the best thing ever. Now, when they decide to meet up again and this guy ghosted her, which means that, you know, he was like, yeah, I'm definitely coming, and then never shows up, disappears out of her life, you know, she cannot get past that, because that was the best night of her life. Now, she's going to this convention because obviously there are competitive dating apps, and there is the one that she used to work for, which was absolute trash. And she worked with the CEO, and her and the CEO had a little something, and it left her, you know, in a bad situation. And then there was the original matchmaking site on the website. So she goes to this convention thinking that she might convince the original matchmaking site to align with her, and then she sees a spokesperson for this matchmaking site, which is Samson Lima, aka Ghost Boy. Oh my god, I had such a great time reading this. She was furious when she saw him. Like, she's like, are you kidding me? So it just follows Samson Lima's perspective, which he is ex-football player. Romance, sports romance for the win. I am telling you, I am sports romance trash now. So the reason why this isn't my second favorite romance of the year is because, one, this does, you know, confront very hard topic of, you know, toxic relationship, toxic masculinity, and, you know, online dating, which is highly relevant in this day. And the other reason is because Samson Lima is my bookish husband. I don't care. This man is a football cinnamon roll of a man. I love him so freaking much. I enjoyed this book. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. If you have not read this book, I don't know what you're doing. This is my favorite. Please go pick it up. I promise you will have a great time. Coming up to my favorite romance of the year, I could have sworn that The Right Swipe by Alicia Rye was going to be my favorite, because I read it, I think it was like October. Yeah, I think it was like in October, like November, and I was like, yep, this is definitely my favorite romance of the year. I'm pretty sure nothing can top this off. And then I got You Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hilbert. Oh my god. If you couldn't tell, I am obsessed with this book. This follows Chloe and Red, and Chloe deals with chronic illness on top of being a plus size POC character. So the representation, y'all, it is there. I'll show you the little picture. This is Chloe, and then this is Red. It's a Redford, but we call him Red, and this is set in the UK. And you know, our girl Chloe is scared of everything and is scared of doing a lot of stuff because her, you know, chronic illness stops her from doing a lot of things. And opening up in this book, this girl almost gets run over. So her life flashes before her eyes and she realizes that she has not done anything. So she does this bucket list of things that she wants to complete in her life in order to get a life. Red is the superintendent of the building that she decides to rent out, and he thinks that she hates him because every single time they encounter, you know, it's always a bad encounter. So Red thinks she is like the most gorgeous girl he's ever seen, but he has to stay away from her because they are like negative. They just do not click. These two lives connect because Chloe wants Red to help her out with the bucket list, and it follows them two and their story. And this is like a hate to love romance, and the reason why this is definitely my top favorite is because the smut was delicious. Their romance, their banter was incredible. The thing that I love about this book is that obviously every single romance is going to have conflict. It's just, you know, it's going to happen. But these two, the way that they solve conflict is by communicating. And obviously they're going to be mad. They're going to need some time for themselves. But at the end of the day, they communicate. And that is all I ask for in romance novels, because the miscommunication trope is out. We are done with it. But these two grown adults communicate with each other, and it's spectacular. I love this book so freaking much, and if you have not picked this up, being my favorite romance book of the year, pick it up now. Alright, y'all, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you do like my recommendations for my top 10 favorite romance of the year. I want to know what is at least your top 3 favorite romances down below so we can discuss and I can get new recommendations for next year. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you next time. Bye.